Look, I'm sorry. I just don't get all the Patrick Mahomes idolatry, the GOAT talk, the overhyping and overprotecting of Patrick Mahomes. Before Sunday's Super Bowl, I was watching the end of the golf tournament, the Phoenix Open. And Justin Thomas was being interviewed. He was asked at the very end, well, which team you got in the Super Bowl? And he said, I am not betting against Mahomes. And the great Jim Nance, who knows the NFL at least as well as he knows golf, chimed in, echoed Justin Thomas by saying, I agree with you. Really? I'm sorry. I just don't see it. And I haven't from the start. I mean, these last two regular seasons, Patrick Mahomes has been shockingly ordinary by his best in the NFL standards. I mean, last two regular seasons, not just one, but two in a row, he finished 8th in QBR. It's not bad, but he used to dominate, be 1 or 2 for his first 5 years. But the last two, 8th in QBR as his offense fell to 15th and 15th in points scored the last 2 years. I mean, that's pretty ordinary, right? And it's not like Patrick Mahomes is suddenly approaching age 40. He's only 29. Brady obviously played until he was 45. Now let's look a little harder at Patrick's Super Bowl. So the first one, they're down 20-10. Late third quarter, and he throws an awful intercept. It was awful. Go look at the YouTube clip. And early in the fourth quarter, he throws another awful interception. Off target, bad idea, late. And then they're still down 20-10, fourth quarter, and it's third and forever. Pass rusher comes clean, and Mahomes has dropped back, and he just sort of, it's like a no look. He just sort of flinches and ducks and heaves way out into the deep flat to Tyreek. Then, of course, a Chief who had to reverse field and come back and like wave for a fair catch. But it was a huge play. It was a game-saving play and completion. Not the prettiest you'll ever see. And yet the opponent that day was not Jalen Hurts, or Patrick would have lost that Super Bowl. Opponent was Jimmy G, as in Garoppolo. And that was that. Jimmy G came completely apart in the fourth quarter. And Patrick heated up. Patrick played very well down the stretch because Jimmy G did not. And then second Super Bowl, this is against Brady in Tampa. Patrick Mahomes just flat out stunk. Again, 31-9 Brady over Mahomes. But didn't have pass protection. Then Patrick versus Jalen. This is in Glendale, Arizona, Phoenix suburb 2 years ago. Jalen threw for 304 yards in that game. Patrick for a mere 182 yards passing, but an unforced error by Jalen as they were driving for the 21-7 touchdown mid-second quarter. He just dropped the ball as he rolled out. One hopped up to Bolton, who took it to the house, and all of a sudden it's 14-14. What a huge break that was for the Chiefs. They could have been blown out in that Super Bowl. But in the fourth quarter, the key play, the biggest play, was a Kadarius Toney punt return. Really? Okay. That's all you got. It wound up 38-35. But Patrick got outplayed by Jalen Hurts. And then I'm going to give you this. A year ago in Las Vegas, Patrick was very good against Brock Purdy. He was very good. They won in overtime. Way to go. I'll give you that one. And then, as I just detailed for you, Sunday night against the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes had a QBR of 11.4 Sunday night against the Eagles in a Super Bowl game. That's on a scale of 0 to 100. He had an 11.4. That's the second worst QBR of his entire NFL career, and it happened in a Super Bowl. So the best quarterback stat, the most objective, all-encompassing quarterback stat, said he was pathetic. 11.4 in a Super Bowl? I mean, he looked like bad Carson Wentz to me in that Super Bowl on Sunday night. Just looked so lost. Now, I can already hear the Patrick protectors shouting their excuses to the mountaintops. He doesn't have enough protection. It's Brett Veach's fault. Get the poor man better offensive lineman. Get him better right tackle, left tackle. Better receivers. He doesn't have enough receivers. You're going to hear it all. You're going to hear Patrick didn't have time to throw to receivers who couldn't get open. You're going to hear it and hear it and hear it. Excuse after excuse after excuse. And you shouldn't buy an ounce of any of those excuses. Mahomes has frankly just gotten a little heavy. I won't call him Fat Mahomes instead of Pat, but Sunday night, for the first time in a playoff game, Mahomes wasn't able to chug around and through and past Eagles pass rushers, because the Eagles pass rushers are as quick and as athletic, as mobile as he was. He did manage 25 yards on 4 rushes, and you're going to hear, well, they couldn't run the ball. He was their leading rusher. No, they throw it. That's what Andy Reid does. When in doubt, throw it. 25 yards total, averaged about 6 yards per rush, but he never hurt the Eagles with his escapes the way he hurt them in Phoenix and the way he hurt the 49ers last year, especially in overtime. And he did go down 6 times behind the line of scrimmage, as you know. So this is Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. His touchdowns to interceptions are now 10-7. That's not very good, really. He's thrown 7 interceptions. Well, the all-time record for Super Bowl interceptions is Elway with 8. So now Patrick Mahomes is tied with Jim Kelly, Craig Morton with 7 Super Bowl interceptions. He's played in a bunch. He's played in 5 and 6 years. Got it. Tom Brady in Super Bowls threw 21 touchdown passes to only 6 interceptions. Interesting. 21-6 in 10 Super Bowls. 10-7 for Patrick Mahomes in 5 Super Bowls. Interesting. Really? Really, Jim Nantz? If Mahomes had been playing against a real quarterback in his first Super Bowl, he loses. He played against the greatest quarterback in his second, and he lost badly. A long punt return saved him against Jalen Hurts. And then Sunday night, he was just flat out awful, and he lost badly. 11.4 QBR? Really? Seriously?